Good evening from Kirksville, Missouri. This is Randy Kirby, and this is Rant Randy's Rant. This is not a MAGA hat. This is Falcons hat. All right. Yeah. I was just watching a notice that came up. I realize there probably won't be a lot of attendance for this one, but I have been very busy today. Grace had an appointment with a dietitian. Uh, if I had gotten back, I would have been 5 minutes late at 4 o'clock to do a show. So we'll just get through this one. We now have 185 members. Let me know how the sound's going because I can't see. Test, test. Uh, Let me check the volume. Let me try that again because, all right, I've got my volume. It should be going right through here. And I'm only getting one dot, so I don't know. Uh, Let me take the mute off. All right, is the sound better? Okay, okay. I don't think it matters whether it's muted or unmuted. I'm still getting used to this 15 HP Windows, so bear with me. All right, all right. Here we go. All right. Uh, Today's supplemental page is where we start out. It's 6.6 million confirmed cases of COVID in the United States, 197,000 plus Americans dead on Donnie's watch. I'll try to stay off the table. I can see it jiggling again. FBI Ray says for the most part, protests have been peaceful, and Russia is interfering in the 2020 elections by uh, denigrating Biden, his own FBI director. Of course, he may throw him under the bus soon. Donnie blames blue states for death toll, ignores rates in the red states. This is dangerous rhetoric, further dividing the people of this country. You will get no leadership from a president who wants a civil war to retain power. I'm suggesting everybody, and this is the Democrats too, 202-224-3121, and tell Republicans and Democrats to act as the result of inaction will be more homeless during a pandemic. The unemployed need that money to pay rent. There will be more evictions of people that are unemployed. Oh, it's been a busy day for me. We went to the dietitian and then we went from there. And I mean, time flew. It was about an hour, hour, 15 minutes with the dietitian. But we have a good plan to try to get her numbers good on both blood pressure and high, and on diabetes type 2. Let me see where I can start. I'm going to start on page one. Oh, that's right. I've got them lined up right. Just had to get through the supplemental page. Ding Dong Donnie says blue states. Oh, I've already done that. Well, this way I approach it different. Ding Dong Donnie says blue states don't matter. Uh, Governors don't run elections in any state. Donnie, uh, he picked Nevada because of a Democratic governor, but it has a Republican Secretary of State who will run a fair election process. They're not going to run it correctly because it's a Democratic state. Give me a fucking break. Uh, from Don Lemon, and I feel like Don Lemon. I report 6 days a week, and for 6 months we have had we have lost Americans to this pandemic. Uh, does it only sicken one side? I sometimes feel like I'm preaching to the choir or banging my head against the wall. I know my side is on the right side of history, but it's frustrating. Damn it, what does it take to convince you Republicans, mostly the silent GOP, that this man doesn't care about you or your party? You just, you are just the vehicle to get what he wants. Total autocratic power. I understand. He will throw you under the bus, but you don't have you don't have the morals or decency left to do anything except be silent, put your hand out. Who's giving me money? And it ain't the people of this country that you're working for. They can't give you money. Uh, is money your only motivation, Republicans? Or, I mean, GOP. Excuse me. Republican voters, uh, doesn't it make you want to question GOP? You're afraid to speak up. Uh, Silence speaks volumes to the American people, particularly my side. Yesterday, Dr. Redfield was under oath. Did he sound confused to you? He said masks were an even better protection for himself, even with the vaccine, because the vaccine is about 70% effective. He states facts. The president states mumbo jumbo. That's our ding dong Donnie. Oh, that helps lower the blood pressure. And they also were impressed. That's the way I do it. And like I described yesterday, another way I do it is imagine an island to myself, nice tide coming in, going out. Back to the story. Trumpenstein again wants you to believe he knows more than the medical experts and his own CDC director. Don't give me that deep shit or deep state bullshit. Michael Cabuto is taking leave of absence because of his mental state of mind. That kind of should clue you in, GOP. The man's crazy. Look at the man at the top. He's even nuttier. Uh, then Ding Dong Donnie said if you take away blue state deaths, he only counts the red states. We're not worth anything. Those lives, if you take those away, what he's not telling you, Republicans, is the red states are doing bad now. Little mistakes like Sturgis, his indoor rallies, his outdoor rallies. And that's generally what the scheme is, herd immunity. And the problem's going to be with that, it will take at least on the best case scenario, it's going to take 2,215,000 people before you even come to that, if you come to that, because the man, Dr. Atlas, came from Fox News. He's the radiologist, but he knows about that kind of thing. That's the reason Stanford said he was kind of like a crackpot, a quack. Uh, Donnie's Pocket AG, uh, claiming, claiming, I couldn't believe this when I first heard it, claims coronavirus closures are the greatest intrusion on civil liberties other than slavery in U.S. history. This is a pandemic. Comparing slavery to trying to protect each other, we are dependent on each other. And that's the problem because the doofus in the White House wants to divide blue and red. Donnie's next talking point, I can hear it from the now. Democrats want to enslave you. Well, Dr. Scott Atlas is an ex Fox pundit. Stanford University says that he is somewhat of a quack. He's not an infectious disease expert. Uh, he is. I can't figure out what I had written there, but I got my point over. The White House, uh, in the White House, the advisory to North Dakota and Nebraska tells over 3 weeks got worse. Yellow to red zone. White House advises to drop the mandatory uh, mask recommendations. States are to ease up on restrictions. Now we see what's going on. Herd immunity is what the Trump regime is going for uh, at the town hall, calling it herd mentality. That mentality, you'll fall him right off the cliff, huh? Oh, shit. Uh, don't listen to what he's saying, but what they are doing. To top it off, we don't know immunity is lasting yet. Uh, and if it is lasting, 70%, 200 million people would have to be infected and get over the virus. And that goes back to their herd immunity theory. 6.4 million people dead at 65% of our country infected and surviving. That's important. If they don't survive, you can't win out with that number. Uh, Best case scenario, as I said before, is 1% fatality rate at 215 million Americans that get well. That would be 2,150,000 die. This is now the actual plan being carried out. Indoor rallies, no testing, tracing contacts, open up college football, open the schools, uh, and what it will cause is in between 6 million and 400,000 to 2 million.1 dead, and it will go away. Why does that sound like Nazi Germany to me? Just different way of the superior race. Let me ask Republican voters, uh, Is this a part of what you want to be? You want to be a part of that experiment? And look at it this way. Another way to look at it is you pull for that man now, you own everything. You own children in cages, concentration camps at the border. You own him, his the National Guard, many of which wished they didn't even tell their families where they were at or what they were doing because they were ashamed of what our government was having them do at Lafayette Park. Not to say anything about the low flying helicopter. Uh, and if you look back, you'll see what his plan. He's been planting the seeds for 6 months. Dr. Redfield, uh, if all Americans wore masks for 8 to 12 weeks, we could get control over this virus. DC National Guard official was asked if his unit had a heat ray device to use against protesters in Lafayette Park in June. It's called ADS, can immediately compel uh, an individual to cease threatening behavior or depart through the application of a direct energy beam that provides a sensation of heat on the surface of the skin. This is an experimental weapon. There's no telling what that could have done. Uh, one main wedding, 176 infections and 7 deaths, all because of one wedding, and none of the people that went to the wedding died. Is who they spread it to that died. That's what we're talking about. Community spread. That's why it's real bright of his supporters to get in there and cram in and claim they're not going to get the virus. They will pass it on to others and kill other people. Uh, Oregon uh, uh, wildfires conspiracy. That one's coming down the pike. It lists at least 15 people arrested for looting in evacuation zones. How long before the fires are blamed on Democrat agitators? We're not far from that, people. Ban. Oh, bar. Excuse me. It was a rough last night. Last night we were up at 3:30, 4 o'clock, 5:30 with Apartment 5 over there. Uh, the daughter of the lady's ex showed up and they decided to raise hell all night in the hallway and screaming at each other in the apartment. Back to the story though. Bar blast DOJ prosecutors equates them to preschoolers because they want to live up to the Constitution they swore an oath to. That makes them preschoolers because they won't go along with what Donnie and Barr want to do. You can't make this shit up. Uh, that statement I caught briefly, so I'm not going to speak that much more about it. But I'll get a lot more on the news dump tonight. It's easy to see that Barr, in his position to protect the president, uh, uh, above the law in our Constitution. He and Ding Dong Donnie are employees of all Americans and not just the base. They don't seem to understand that, and neither does the base. His base is not grown. If anything, the smart ones in it are going to get out of the base. They don't want to be a part of this dumbass's plans. He has shown he wants to be a full-fledged dictator. And our job is Blue Dot, family members, uh, friends of yours, anybody. We have to get out and vote this time. This is the vote for our own freedom. We will not have democracy under an autocratic government that this man is rapidly trying to set up. I don't give a shit if he doesn't accept the results. That's not the question. Our Constitution says January 20th, the new president takes power, and he can cry and moan and bitch about it all he wants. Unless he can take charge of the army, the police, and everyone else, ain't gonna happen. They're gonna pull the crybaby out of the White House, and I hope they lock his ass up along with all his damn fascists. All right. I don't have very much in me. I got out here and bitched. When I promise something, I fulfill it. Uh, as it turned out today, I would have been uh, about 15, 20 minutes starting at 4:20 or so. Then I decided it would be better to do it at this time. So I will let you go. Uh, let's get our job done. I've got my memes out there. I need all the help I can get. Uh, I stay busy, and the support that I get, the cards, the letters, and the donations that I get are what keep me going. They pay the bills for me to get out here and do what I do. And I will keep doing it until we take our country back. All right, I'll let you go. I want you to go down, like, share, or subscribe if you're new here, and we'll keep pursuing this until we get our country back. All right, have a good one. I want you to share this shit. Peace, resist, persist, and insist that you call Congress at 202 224 3121 and tell them, Republican and Democrat, do something for the American people. Don't depend on waiting to an election. You want people to be on the street? They will be unless you can get your shit together. And I mean both parties. All right. Have a good one. I'll see you later. And like I said, share this shit. Bye bye. Share this shit.